before I start, I just want to let y'all know that the beef episode of the Fugees is already up on my YouTube channel and stuff like that. I've read like the live reviews on it so far, and I appreciate the love so far on it. And if you guys haven't watched it, you're in for a good treat. So please make sure you guys check that out. We hope everyone's doing safe. We hope everyone's doing well under this quarantine and whatnot. So we hope everyone's doing well on that. And as usual, it's your boy Reg here, and the album I'm about to review today is the Funkee Homosapien with his debut album, I Wish My Brother George Was Here. This was released in 1991 on Elektra Records. Before I go on with this review, I want to give a shout out to my boy Lindell Williams. He requested me to do this review. Yes, so the Funkee Homosapien. Give me one quick second. I want to make sure something's connected. Okay. Alright, never mind. I just want to make sure something's connected with my live streaming because I thought it was lagging for a minute. But yeah, like I said before, this is a request. My homeboy Lindell Williams wanted me to review this album. Alright, so for those who don't know who the Funkee Homosapien is, he is an MC that originated from Oakland. He was born and raised in Oakland, California. He is like the cousin of Ice Cube. You know, everyone knows who Ice Cube is. I'm not even gonna get into who he is, but at the same time, he's a cousin of Ice Cube. And while he was little, and like while he was like a teenager and whatnot, he was like always known to like writing rhymes and stuff. But like his style was very, very different from Cube's and shit like that. Because while Cube shit had talked about like the realities of street life, and his shit was like very vulgar, the Funkee Homosapien, he was more written like for like the everyday rapper. And mind you, this cat was like a West Coast MC that was rapping like he could have been like a member of like the native tongues or whatnot. And like I said before, and that's why like I felt like the Funkee Homosapien is an MC that never gets his just due, if you ask me, and shit like that. Because like before the Far Side, before Jurassic 5, he was like really like one of those first West Coast cats that was not like on that hardcore street shit, that gangster rap and stuff like that. And I just felt like his style was very unique for especially from the early '90s and shit like that. So yeah, just throwing that shit out there. And so fast forward to 1991, you know, he liked his style so much that he got him to write a lot of rhymes for like the lynch mob and shit like that, who were Ice Cube's protege. They dropped the album Gorillas in the Mist in '92, and then the next album, Planet of the Apes, came out in '94. Give me one second. I'm sorry about that, y'all. My throat got a little dry for a minute. Alright, just throwing that shit out there. Alright, so yeah, so that's when he signed to Elektra Records, which is under Asylum, and that's how the debut album, If I Wish My Brother George, was released. Yeah, so there you have it. Yeah, try definitely double duty tonight. Alright, so a lot of people question like the title, because the title, I Wish My Brother George was here. A lot of people thought it was a reference to George Clinton, the front man of Parliament Funkadelic. But according to the Funkee Homosapien in an interview, he pretty much got the quote from an old Looney Tunes, cartoon and shit like that. And it was like a quote he got from like a Looney Tunes cartoon, which I found that to be unique. Producers include Boogeyman, the Funkee Homosapien, and Ice Cube. Yeah, Ice Cube, he does a few beats here and there and shit like that. He's actually not a bad producer. then singles include Mr. De Bellino, which was like I want to say that was like the biggest single, his breakthrough single. Sleeping on My Couch and Dr. Bombay. Excuse me. And he pretty much like carries a whole album. Like you might hear an ad lib here and there from Ice Cube and shit like that, but it's really just like nothing. He just really pretty much just rips his whole fucking album and shit like that. So yeah, alright, so 14 tracks. Let's get this shit started. Track number 1, What Is a Booty? Um yeah, this one was an okay track pretty much. Like it's not a bad track, but at the same time, I would not have put this like as the first song on the album. It's like a mixture of the beat is pretty much like a mixture of the traditional P-Funk sound and something that you would definitely hear on Death Certificate. Like, but always felt like the production on this album. I felt like the production on this album and shit like that was pretty much like a lighter Death Certificate-esque album and shit. If that makes sense. So yeah, that's one thing I have to say about What Is a Booty. Just throwing out there his love for the booties, ass shaking and shit like that. And also, when it comes to this album too, I forgot to mention, it's not credited, but DJ Pooh, he actually done some beats on this album too. Very, very, very dope producer, very underrated producer and shit like that. He's more than just Big Red from Friday and shit. So yeah, so that's What Is a Booty. Track number 2, Mr. Bellino. This was the biggest single of the album and shit like that. Yeah, this song right here is pretty much talking about like backstabbers and snakes that he witnessed in his life and shit like that. Um, Pretty straight song. I've heard this song a lot growing up and stuff like that. That beat, I've heard that beat a lot and shit like that. Yeah, pretty straight song. Believe it or not, it's not my favorite Del the Funky Homosapien song, but yeah, I can understand like why it's a fan favorite. So, track number 3, The Wacky World of Rapid Transit. See, that title alone sounds like a Looney Tunes cartoon. Um, yeah, one of my favorite tracks off this album and shit like that. It's pretty much him. It's like a very original for the time because he's pretty much talking about the struggles of how one has to take public transportation and shit like that. And yeah, it's like very dope. I love the rhymes he was doing and shit like that. Like listen to he was like saying some shit like, "Would these rough-looking kids get busy with the youngster amongst the many who must catch rapid transit to get through the city? I'm not certain, but if I go sit in the back, it's curtains. Kids want to ride the back. What kind of shit is that? Nowadays, niggas can't wait to hit the back. Let me stand in the front with the elderly so those other cats won't raise hell with me." And that line is so fucking true, especially for me growing up because, like when I used to ride like the school bus and shit like that, um, the kids like always just sit in the back. Like kids who sat in the back of the bus, they always do the most trouble and shit like that. Me sometimes I used to like sit like in the middle, but not like towards the back and shit like that. Like eventually, sometimes I'll sit in the back and shit like that one day. But yeah, I was just mostly just to myself and shit like that. Like once in a while, I might just do some crazy shit. But I was a kid, fuck it. But yeah, The Wacky World of Rapid Transit, definitely a very dope track right there. Uh, Track number 4, Pissing on the Steps. Yeah, Pissing on Your Steps is definitely another favorite of mine and shit like that. With this song, he's pretty much taking shots at a few rappers. Like he threw some shots at MC Hammer. Like he threw some shots at Hammer. He threw some shots at Vanilla Ice, and he also threw some shots at De La Soul too. Which I'm gonna read you some of those lines. Like check this shit. Like he said, this is the line that's aimed at Hammer. I mean at Vanilla Ice. He says, "Ice is cool, but I can't stand vanilla because he takes a style and he tries to mock it. Ain't nothing personal, G. I'm kind of into chocolate. It's all about the black, and it's like that. Because, you know, everyone was throwing shots at Vanilla Ice and Hammer. And, a lot of people looked at Vanilla Ice as just an MC Hammer clone, pretty much, and shit like that. And so, the line he says to De La Soul, he says, "See, I'm rather mellow, call it lazy. Me and myself and I ain't with the daisy. Cause I'm no goddamn flower, and every single dancer in circumference receives a golden shower. I'm here to insult the hip hop John Travolta." Like, I was like, shit. And I don't even know what his issue was with De La Soul, because, it's ironic because, Dell and Prince Paul eventually worked together, like, in the future and shit. Like, they eventually worked together, like, in future projects and shit. Um, and so I think the line he said about Hammer, he said some. Where's the line about Hammer? But yeah, while I'm finding that line and shit like that, it's like, yeah, and the beat is so fucking dope. Very, very, very funky ass, very funky beat right there. When it comes to like the album shit. So yeah, that's pissing on your steps and stuff. Very dope track. Um, Track number 5, Darkskinned Girls. Very controversial track in this day and age, because he's pretty much throwing shots at light skinned women who he pretty much throws some he pretty much throws some shots at light skinned women who think that they're God's gift to the world. And he says that how we should all treat he feels like dark skinned girls get a lot of ridicule and shit like that, which I pretty much agree, definitely 100%, because especially with like colorism and shit like that, because whenever people look at like a dark skinned female and shit like that, they always want to say, "Oh, she's dirty," and whatnot. And so when it comes to the light skinned females, like, everyone has nothing bad to say about a light skinned female and shit like that. And I'm not like throwing shots at light skinned women, dark skinned women, or whatnot. It's just shit that I've seen, like, growing up and stuff like that. So definitely excuse me, yeah, definitely a very dope song and shit like that. Um, like, there's this line where he says, "Light skinned girls ain't satisfied unless they get their way always. Plus they act stuck up. They all add up to one great big fuck up. They try to play stuck up when they want something. They always leave a brother with nothing." Which, I hate to say it, but I see no lies there, because, like I said, I've seen plenty of light skinned females who've done some shit like that, so like, it's very relatable, you know what I'm saying? So I see no lies there, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, and the line he said about hammer on pissing on your steps, he says, "And realize a hammer's just a mallet. Toss him like a salad, 'cause he ain't truly gifted." And also with this, but back to pissing on your steps, he actually bigged up the crew Hieroglyphics, which you guys should know became like a huge popular underground collective, like, was prominent in, like, the mid '90s, with Souls of Mischief and Saphir and so on and so on. So yeah, um, that was pissing on your steps. What I had to say about that, and with dark skin dark skin girls, very dope song and shit. Next track, Money for Sex. Oh my god, this is like my favorite track off this album. Like, dun 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 dun. Like, that beat is so dope. Like, if you have like a nice speaker and you play that fucking beat, you will definitely love it. Um, yeah, man. What I got from Money for Sex, he's basically talking about how he doesn't give a fuck about gold diggers and shit like that, and how brothers should definitely rise up when it comes to who is who and who is not a gold digger. Yeah, definitely very dope track right here. I love the Ralph McDonald sample that they used for this track. One line that he said that I love was like, "Where, oh where did the good girls go? It seems all that's left in the meadow is hoes. Not the kind of hoe that you use in your garden. Yes, the kind of hoe that make your dick harden." Like, like that shit right. Like, there's some songs on this album where you can just hear the Ice Cube in his delivery, in his voice and shit. Like, not like his voice, but like in his, like, metaphors and shit. Like, you can just see the Ice Cube delivery in that. So, Money for Sex, definitely like my favorite track off this album. Um, Next track, 1212. That's pretty much like a braggadocio. I got a braggadocio kind of track with that one and shit. Yeah, very dope track right there where he's just, coasting on that beat. Yeah, very solid track. Next track I got is next track is like a prelude, which like if you have like a vinyl, I guess it's like a cassette or a vinyl and shit like that. It's the next side and shit. You know what I'm saying? Um, yeah, nothing really to the prelude. Track number 9, Dr. Bombay. This again was also a single. Very cool song. That beat again is very funky and shit like that. Very funky beat. Um, by the way, it's kind of crazy too because when it comes to like I wish my brother George was here. Like you can definitely it definitely like when it comes to like the hooks off this album, it definitely has like a very positive funkadelic kind of vibe and shit like that. And if you guys listen to like a lot of P Funk, especially on albums like Mothership Connection and Up Down the Downstroke, you can definitely know what I'm getting into and shit. Track number 10, Sunny Meadows, very very dope track right there. That's like probably my second favorite track off this album. With this track, it's just like again another one of those songs where he's like coasting on the kind of beat. Like the beat is so smooth and laid back. Um, this is one line where it's one line where he says, "You sold 8 million, but you still the entertainers, 'cause you're fraudulent. I have no time for a jester. Go take your place beside Uncle Fester, 'cause you're an uncle too. You're an Uncle Tom, and DEL and hieroglyph is gonna drop the bomb." Like, one might say that could be like a shot at Hammer and stuff like that. But at the same time, like that line is so true because like once like these MCs, they sell like a good million and shit like that, they'll do anything, for $1 and stuff like that, do anything for $1, like end up being sellouts and shit, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, very dope track, Sunny Meadows. I love that song. Track number 11, Sleeping on My Couch. Mm. Yeah, another solid track off this album. I feel like the second half of this album is definitely some of the best tracks. Like not a bad track off the lot, in my opinion. With this album, with this song, he's pretty much getting mad at people like bums sleeping in his mom's place and treating his place with like disrespect and stuff like that. And he's like cats like don't have jobs and stuff like that too. So yeah, very 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 dope track right here. So yes, that's sleeping on your couch. Track number 12, Hoods Come in Dozens. Yeah, this one has a few ad libs in here and there from Ice Cube and shit. And this is probably like the most Ice Cube kind of track off the album. Cause you pretty much talking about how one should watch your back when they go to like a hood and shit like that. Don't be aware like don't get jacked pretty much and shit. Yeah, very dope track. Love this song. Love that beat too. Like those drums definitely hit hard. Yeah. One line he said, which was kind of funny, was, "I hate you, Mr. Gangster, 'cause everyone's mocking you. Now I can't go get no rest because you pests keep killing little children like their sneakers are worth $1 million. Bucks, it's a bummer. Someone tried to get me for a cult last summer." Like, yeah, very dope track right there. Hoods Coming Dozens. Very dope. Next track, Same Old Thing. This track right here was another cool track. Same Old Thing was another cool track where he's pretty much talking about like whack MCs, pretty much talking about whack MCs and shit, and he managed to throw like another shot at Vanilla Ice, like especially with the line like, "I could have iced Vanilla, but I haven't got the chance yet. But that's okay, because he was dissed on Soul Train. He got booed because his rhymes are so lame." Like, yeah, like, because if you guys remember in the 1991 Soul Train Awards, Vanilla Ice was nominated for Best R&B Urban Commentary New Artist category, which I believe he lost to Mariah Carey, which was rightfully so. And when his name got called out, everyone pretty much booed him, and trash like that. Um, if I'm not mistaken, I think Heavy D was presenting that award. I think Heavy D presented that award, and he pretty much he said his name. He almost said Vanilla Ice Psych, and he pretty much and he said it ended up with Psych and shit like that. So yeah, just throwing that shit out there. If y'all the clip is on YouTube, so if y'all can find it, check that shit out. And the last track off this album, Your Little Crumb Snatchers, which again it's another song what kind of features Ice Cube in the intro where he's pretty much saying how, oh, Della's my cousin, but he ends up saying how he's still weird as fuck though, you know what I'm saying, because of his style and shit like that. And so Dell just spits a couple of bars and shit how, you know, how he stays true to himself and whatnot. And so that's one thing I got from Your Little Crumb Snatchers. And that's all what I have from this album. Overall, very, very, very dope album. In my opinion, I would call this album a classic album. In my opinion, like, and I feel like it doesn't really get a lot of talk, especially when it comes to like Delta Funkee Homosapien, because a lot of people always want to talk about No Need for Alarm and the Deltron 3030 album, which I love those albums, but I feel like this album right here, I Wish My Brother George Was Here, was definitely one of those essential West Coast albums that should not be forgotten. Like one of his best, like lyrically, like his pen game was so ill. Like his fucking pen game was so ill. He proved that he was more than Ice Cube's cousin and shit like that. And shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, very, very, very dope album. Production wise, like I said in the beginning, like it definitely, it's like a lighter death certificate, if that makes sense. Like definitely, like, cause you know, Cube definitely had his hand in the production, and I always felt like Ice Cube was definitely a very dope producer and shit like that, especially his shit on like Yo-Yo's Make Way for Motherload album shit, and Caution's album. Like very, very, very underrated when it comes to producing and shit like that. Like, yeah, but back to this album. Definitely a very underrated album, especially in the West Coast. Um, the album actually got re-released on vinyl. It got reissued on music on vinyl in Europe and shit like that. But I believe it's out of print in the USA. I believe, but it shouldn't be too expensive. I know a lot of his shit is not too expensive. Well, certain albums are not too expensive. Let me say that because I've seen his prices fluctuate here and there. But yeah, man. Definitely, very dope. That's Delta Funky Homo Sapien. I wish my brother George was here. Shout out to my homeboy, Lindell Williams. I'm sorry, like I said, it took me a while to review this album. I'm still eventually going to talk about both sides. I'm like a couple albums in his discography. Because I know he also requested to do Both Sides of the Brain, and I know somebody else requested me to do Deltron 3030 at one point. So yeah, stay tuned for those. I got like a lot of albums to get over and shit like that. So yeah, I'm just definitely going to read a few comments and say a few announcements. Um, be on the lookout for a couple of dates this evening because I know this week I definitely am reviewing Living Color's Vivid album, their debut album that I want to say came out in 1989, and I'm also planning on doing like a top 20 hip hop slash R&B labels and shit like that. So be on the lookout for that. And also, I also have a couple of dope albums planned up. Like I'm gonna review since like I said before, like I'm still gonna be stuck here on quarantine and shit like that. Well, not only I can still like go out here and there, but I gotta be back by like 5 o'clock. But like niggas still gonna follow that rule anyway. But other than that, I also plan on talking about Parliament's Mothership Connection album this week sometime. Don't quote me on that. Let me see how this week goes through. But yeah, man, let me see what's happening in the comments. You try said Dell sounded more like himself on No Need for Alarm. Yeah, a lot of people say like he found his style on No Need for Alarm, which I can't argue with that and shit like that because I feel like with this album, you know, there was still a couple of like songs, like sounds like you can tell he was influenced by Cube and shit like that, and not even Cube, but even like the native tongues too. You said that's interesting because Dell has done stuff with the native tongues later. Yeah, that's I was kind of surprised about that too. Try and shit like that. That's very interesting. But I just felt like me personally, it could also just be him just throwing shots at everybody or just battle rap. But you know, and like I mentioned before, I uploaded the Fugees episode of the beef, so y'all go check that shit out. Oh, and I know a lot of people, yeah, be on the lookout because I also want to do the Sticky Fingers album next week. I want to do that next week too, so yeah, be on the lookout for that. 'Cause I know a lot of people want me to talk about Onyx. I know I reviewed All We Got Is Us a while back ago, so go on my channel and check that shit out. Um, yeah, Vanilla Ice was definitely a ripoff and shit like that. No argument there. Yes, HNIC is coming. I really wanna get the album first when it comes to that. Like, cause I know when it comes to Mobb Deep, I have the Infamous, I have Hell on Earth, which I reviewed, and I have Murder Music. So yeah, once I get HNIC, I'm definitely gonna talk about that, and I also want to also talk about Juvenile Hell, like just a lot of Mobb Deep shit this year and shit. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna find that in a good copy. Um, yeah, man, definitely. But yeah, man, hope everyone's definitely staying safe during this whole quarantine, COVID-19 shit. I can't wait for all this bullshit to be over, and I hope like all the victims, I hope y'all staying healthy, no matter what. You know what I'm saying? Mm. Yeah, man. I hope everyone's staying healthy no matter what, and not doing anything stupid. Hopefully this whole shit will be over soon because as soon as this shit is over, I kid you not, I am gonna go out. I'm just gonna go out of town. I'm just gonna go to some probably like a club or a lounge, just go bar hopping. I don't know, just do some shit. But at the end of the day, I'm still gonna be responsible as hell. Yeah, appreciate that shit. Try. Yeah, man. That episode definitely was a lot to review, and shit like that. I learned a lot. I actually learned a lot from the episode. I like when I do these reviews or breakdowns, and I learn like a couple things I never know. I like that shit. Trump is the devil. Funny as fuck. Hey, okay, yeah, same to you. Yo, appreciate that, Mikhail Alonso. Appreciate that. Yeah, man. I definitely want to talk about this top 20 record labels this week and shit like that. Once I get my quote unquote work schedule, I'll definitely handle that shit. But yeah, definitely. Shit. Yeah, let's see what else is going on. Also, I do plan on sometime this month doing like a first time listen to Joel Ortiz's recent album. I know a lot of people request me to do that. That's coming sometime this month. Also, later on in April, I want to talk about Ice Cube's The Predator around the anniversary of the LA riots. So yeah, that's gonna be very big and shit like that. So stay tuned on that. Um, let me see if I'm gonna stay on for a few comments and shit. Um, yeah, man. Well, I work at a library trust, so I really can't work from home pretty much. So I actually have to go there. So as soon I always come prepared. I got my vitamin C. I got my hand sanitizer. Like I ain't fucking around with these motherfuckers. Mm. Yeah, like I said, once this shit is over, man, I cannot wait. Trump's playing games, man. He knows what's up. That's all I want to say. Shit. And also I'm definitely also want to do like a speaking of the beef series. I'm gonna definitely do like a beef recap. Just breaking down like the first 4 episodes, just in case people haven't seen those yet. Um, so yeah, just have a lot of big things I'm doing this fucking. Yes, Sam, I have Dipset's first album. Yeah, that review is coming. It's coming and shit. Yo, what's up, Eric? I actually plan on getting Wrath of the Mask sometime this month. Cause I'm gonna actually review Wrath of the Mask April too. So be on the lookout for that. That's gonna be after Jasmine Task. After that. Oh, Try, you got that album? Bet. Yo, that song, One Day, where he went after Bad Boy Records, that shit is one of the most underrated diss tracks in hip hop history and shit. But I'm gonna say my thoughts on that. That beat, like dun dun dun. Oh shit, that shit fire. Um, shit. Give me 1 second, cause someone's calling. You said what? Nah, I was on the review shit. Why did you tell my Bluetooth off? Cause I always do my Bluetooth off and shit. Sorry about that. Um, yeah, like I said before, Wrath of the Math, I'm gonna do those before I touch on Moment of Truth, The Owners, and the recent Gangsta album, one of the best yet. I want to definitely talk about a few Gangsta affiliate albums. I know I reviewed Bahamadia Collage when I did not have the album, so I might do that sometime in the future, but not at the second. Let me see what y'all say. Yeah, Sam, Extinction Level Event. That's coming later on this year. I plan on talking about Rampage's Black October and his Boy Scout album before I touch on that. And I also want to do like a countdown on Busta Rhymes, but I'm gonna keep that under wraps on the moment. So yeah, y'all be on the lookout for that. Maybe May I'm gonna do that one. Maybe. Yeah, Alonzo. I reviewed Diary. I think I reviewed their first two albums, Forever My Lady, but I don't have a copy of that. And I reviewed Diary of a Madman because that's actually my favorite album, Diary of a Madman and shit. I have the show, the party, the after the the show, the after party, the hotel. I have that, but I'm gonna review that album sometime this year. I know eventually I'm gonna review that album, and I know eventually I'm gonna talk about their most recent album, but not really planning on doing that right at this second. Um, yeah, try. We can definitely do collage one day. I'll definitely keep that on the lookout. And Sam, Rod Digger's album that's coming in the future too. Dirty Harriet. Yeah, that's definitely coming in the future and shit. Um, what else? Because I'm also gonna talk about her unreleased album too. So be on the look. Yeah, be on the lookout for some Flip Mode Squad reviews this upcoming summer and shit like that. Yeah, try Diary of a Mad Bandit's classic album. That's like gangsta R&B. That's the best way to describe it. Like Devontae definitely outdid himself in the with the production. Like, oh my fucking god, it don't even sound like it was produced in '93. Like it sound like it could have been made today. Like Alone, Fiendin'. Oh, what was that one song they did with? What About Us? Oh, that's my fucking whoo. Damn, like yeah, I might re-review that album maybe this year too. So, but don't quote me on that. But I want to actually also try sometime this month. I want to actually re-review No Way Out too. If you're down for that, let me know. Um, Sam, I never actually planned on reviewing Teddy Pendergrass out of this yet because I think I have a couple of his albums here, and I know I have this Time for Love album, and I know I have one of his albums in Raleigh. So, but I'll keep that in mind. I'll definitely keep that in mind and shit. Cause I definitely want to talk about a lot of more Philly soul on this channel and shit, you know. But if you're interested in Philly soul reviews, I reviewed the Stylistics debut album last year, so just go on my channel and check that shit out if you're interested in some Philly soul reviews. All right, bet I'll let you know about that because low key I was just jamming to that shit the other day. I was jamming to that shit the other day and shit like that, and some tracks I like more now than I did back when I first listened to it. But at the same time, I still have my criticisms on the album. But yeah, yeah, Eric, I actually recently got Worth the Wait. I recently got that album on vinyl too, so I have to actually re-listen to the album too. So yeah. Um, Yo, Sam. I only got two Patti LaBelle. Well, technically three. It's Time for Love, Burning, and the shit she did with LaBelle, Nightbirds. So I'm really planning on doing LaBelle albums and shit. And yeah, try like definitely. But at the same time, the real fans watch the shit. The real fans don't. It is what it is. Where would you rank the three R&B eras from the '90s? Early, late. Oh, that's easy. That's easy. If you're talking about mid '90s, like '94 to '96, that's definitely my number one. Early '90 to '93, number two. Then late '97, '99 is my number three. I just feel like the mid '90s R&B definitely had like a lot of dope material just coming from them, and even like when they used to collaborate with a lot of hip hop, it was like a nice balance too, in my opinion. So that's actually not a bad question. You said I just got Janet Jackson Control the remix album vinyl. Oh, yeah, that shit's out of print as a motherfucker. I actually saw that. I think they re-released that shit, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, I have the Janet Period album on CD, but I don't know if they're gonna re. I think they should have re-released that album, but I don't know about that, you know, because I know they re-released Rhythm Nation last year. But yeah, man, definitely got to review All For You at one point. No, Sam, I actually need to get that album. I need to get actually some early Funkadelic shit because the only ones I got is Maggot Brain, One Nation Under a Groove, and Uncle Jam Wants You. But I'm kind of grateful because the One Nation and Uncle Jam albums, they go for a stupid amount of money these days. So I'm actually grateful I got those at a cheaper price. No, I don't got that album yet, Eric. The CK album, I don't got that one yet. Actually, screw it. I'll put Mid as my second favorite. Yeah, like mid '90s R&B, man. Like that was when like they were just saying goodbye to like New Jack Swing and entering like that cheap sounding R&B like pronounced Janae, R. Kelly's 12 play and self-titled. Like I mentioned, Diary of a Madman, Tevin Campbell's I'm Ready. Oh my God. Brandy's self-titled. SWV's It's About Time, which a lot of people don't even talk about. No, not It's About Time. A New Beginning, excuse me, which a lot of people don't even talk about. Like that's like my personal favorite um SWV album and shit like that. Use Your Heart, man. That beat. Oh my fucking god. Um, Sam said, "Have you heard Y2K album by Screwball?" I never heard a lot of Screwball stuff, Sam. To be real with you, I might peep him one day, but I've heard a lot of good things about that album. It's kind of funny you mentioned that, Eric, because me and Troy we actually talking about reviewing the Sister Sledge We Are Family album one day and shit like that, and I know a lot of hip hop sample from that album too. So yeah, that's definitely I'll keep that like on notice and shit. Hey, Alonzo, let me ask you a question. Just out of curiosity, what is your favorite R. Kelly album from the '90s? since you into like this 90s R&B shit. Just asking. Where's your... Oh, what the fuck? Oh, well, he retracted it. Fuck it. Yeah, yeah, definitely. Rest in peace to Joni Sledge, by the way. Yeah, man, I cannot wait to talk about these Gangstar albums and shit because I definitely wanted to always like review those Gangstar reviews I've done a while back ago. So those was just that was when I was just starting off the whole YouTube shit. A lot of my earlier YouTube videos, I kind of cringe at those now, cause some of them were art, but then some of them was just, oh, what the fuck was I on? Yes, Sam. Anita Baker reviews are coming this summer. I want to talk about Escape's first their three albums before I go into Anita Baker. Um, Eric said the 40-year anniversary of Jermaine Jackson Let's Get Serious album. What's your favorite album you listen to that's turned 40 years old? Oh, that's an easy one. Stevie Wonder's Hotter Than July. Cause I feel like it's gonna turn 40 sometime in the summer and shit like that. So, but that Jermaine Jackson Let's Get Serious album, even though I'm not the biggest Jermaine Jackson fan, that album got some heat. Um, yeah. I'll even throw the Clash's Sandinista album into that 40-year shit too. Oh, try that R double album. Yeah, that shit. Yeah, that shit's fire though. Like his songwriting was amazing. Mary J. Blige is coming, Sam. Best believe. For real, because like I said before, like these next couple of reviews and shit, y'all be surprised on the album choices I'm gonna pick. Oh, and speaking of trash reviews, what trash shit y'all want me to do next? Because I feel like after Encore, I definitely outdid myself. I don't know. Y'all tell me what trash albums I can talk about next. Oh, okay, Alonzo? You said you want to count his Born in the '90s, but I can't. But obviously, I'm gonna have to say 12 play. I would throw Born in the '90s because pretty much, like that's pretty much like it might be R. Kelly in Public Announcement, but it's still R. Kelly. So I will count Born in the '90s and shit. But 12 play was the masterpiece and shit. Like, oh fuck. But at the same time, it's just like every R&B singer, like in the 20 teens, they tried to do a 12 play. At one point, it was getting kind of cringy. Like you got this bitch ass nigga Jacquees calling himself the king of R&B. Um, but the thing about Born in the '90s, a lot of diehard R. Kelly fans don't even know about that album too, which is a damn shame. A damn shame, in my opinion. Like, um, yeah, Sam. I heard that track a while back ago. It was pretty straight. Blondie, Auto American, straight trash. Um, Rapture was the only hit off the album. Yeah, try. It's kind of funny you mentioned Blondie because I'm actually reviewing. I'm gonna try to review this album sometime this week, so be on the lookout for that. But yeah, Rapture there. That's my shit. Um, damn man, it's 9:45 right now. I might stay on here for about a good 10 minutes. Shit. Yeah, I still want to do the music video reaction and shit like that, but I'm still trying to get my shit straight with the streaming shit. I know I'm gonna try out a new streaming service that Try let me know about. So I still want to do those music video reactions one day because I feel like that's a very unique idea. Let's see. heard Childish Gambino's new album though. Okay, the chat's a little dead at the moment, but fuck it, fuck it, fuck it. So yeah, like if I do this record labels video and shit like that, possibly it might be a Thursday. I want to do it, cause like I said, like, I feel like certain labels they have like their runs where it's like some of them are hip hop based, and the others just like they would just shy away from that like hip hop at one point, just focus on pop and R&B. So Alonzo said that's how Kelly got introduced to the world. LOL. And what's your favorite neo soul album? Mine is either Brown Sugar or Urban Sweet. Um, on top of my head, I'm just gonna go with Bodywism. I just feel like with Bodywism is just pretty much like one of those albums that's timeless, that gets better with age and shit like that. Um, if I was to pick a second favorite neo soul album, mm, I might fuck y'all minds up with this one. But I'm gonna go with Jill Scott's "Who Is Jill Scott" album and shit. If I was to go with my second favorite neo soul album, because I definitely feel like that album is definitely a neo, like it definitely ushered in like the neo soul sound of like the 2000s and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So, um, I'm definitely gonna hear that album pretty soon, Eric. The Systems "Don't Disturb the Groove." I know a lot of people says a lot of good things about that, and I heard that song "Don't Disturb This Groove" a lot growing up, so it's been sampled a lot too. So like that dun, 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 that I love that beat and shit. Like the '80s was just a good time for them synthesizers and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like fuck. Anyway, also I have another good idea. One day, speaking of synths, one day I probably after this whole record label thing, one day I want to talk about top Jimmy Jam Terry Lewis productions or some shit. You know, definitely want to talk about Jimmy Jam Terry Lewis sometime in the future. Um, yeah, that definitely is a classic album from what a lot of people have said. You said that's pre Neptunes. That's interesting. Interesting. I never heard people like compare that shit, with Neptunes because to be honest, I'm mostly like when it comes to Neptunes, they kind of hit or miss for me. And a lot of the shit I like, a lot of the shit I like from the Neptunes is like from like the '90s and like some shit from the 2000s. And I mostly like Pharrell when he's like solo production. But yeah, Sam, I have listened to Black Flag before. Yeah, definitely very dope group and shit like that. Henry Rollins and shit, definitely very interesting frontman right there. Yeah, the System and Neptunes from the early 2000s. Yeah, definitely, definitely. Yo, this is interesting. A live stream that actually is not buffering. Oh shit, this is interesting as hell. Like the review actually went on time and shit. Actually started on time. Damn. Shit, I'm not even gonna drink some tonight. I'm not even gonna do it. um, yeah, man. So I'm gonna stay on for about 5 more minutes and shit. I know. What's going on right now? What is going on in the news right now besides Corona? Yeah, I heard Bad Brains' first three albums, Sam, and shit like that. I need to get my hands on a few of them and shit too. But like I said, once all this bullshit is over. Oh, what is your three favorite years in hip hop? Um, 1993 is my number one. 1989 is my number two. Number three. Number three. I'm gonna go with 1991 as my number three. This shit. I especially want to give like 1989 because like that's like yeah a lot of dope hip hop albums came out that year. Ice T's Iceberg, Queen Latifah's All Hail the Queen, Third Basis the Gas Face, like a lot of dope shit. Eric said underrated 80s pop albums in your opinion. Um, hmm, damn. Jill Jones, Jill Jones, debut album on top of my head. Never hear no one talk about that album. Never. Matter of fact, just to refresh your memory, let me show it to y'all. Ah, there it is. Yeah. When it, when it comes to Prince's production, like this album right here, no one never mentions and shit like that. This is like one of the best albums that came out from like the whole Paisley Park shit. Um, it was known for singles like Mia Boca. I want to say with you, either with you or All Day All Night was a single and shit. The Prince version of All Day All Night is dope too, but yeah, man, just throwing it out there because I'm not really big into like a lot of '80s pop like that, but at the same time, when you said underrated, I just felt like this was just the first one that came to my mind and shit. Just it definitely had that pop R&B feel to it. Yeah, and this album's out of print too, so and it's expensive as hell. So good luck finding it. But yeah, Try said Mary from 1992 to 2001 was the best. Yeah, I definitely agree with you. After No More Drama, she was kind of hit or miss, but I love the Breakthrough album. I definitely love that album. Um, yeah, Alonzo, the early 90s were very underrated. I love 91 and 93, son. Yeah, like, even though I was born in 95 and shit like that, just judging by the albums I've listened to and shit like that, definitely love those years and shit. I would even give a slight nod to even 1997 too because 97 gets a lot of bad rep when it comes to like hip hop because people say that Tupac died, Biggie died, Shiny Suit era, but 97 has some heat like the War Report. One Day It Will Make Sense. In My Lifetime Volume 1. What else? What else? Missy Elliott's Super Duper Fly. Jesus Christ. Definitely has some heat and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Um, yeah, Eric, I've heard the Body Count album from Ice T and shit. I want to get the OG copy, but that shit's expensive as fuck. But I want to get the OG. Try said, True Blue, Culture Club, Kissing Me Clever, Say You Love, but she's so unusual. Yeah, True Blue, definitely, I'll definitely give you a nod on True Blue. Very underrated album. Um, Eric said Donna Summer Cats Without Claws. I never heard that album. Um, The Breakthrough was solid. Love and Life was good too. Okay. Yes, Eric. The Family. Also, yeah, another underrated Prince production. That was, cause that was released after the time broke up. That first time they broke up and shit like that. No pun intended. Try said 1994 one of the best years in hip hop. I definitely agree with you on that. Like Born, Word Life, Stress the Extension Agenda, Regulate G Funk Era, Illmatic, Ready to Die, To Cal, 6 Feet Deep. Um, the list goes on and on. Ill Communication. Yeah, Eric. Yeah, I'm definitely not the biggest Shannon fan, but I've heard that Let the Music Play song a lot. So yeah, definitely, definitely, definitely. And her unsung episode was actually pretty dope too. I know Billy Paul's Unsung is tonight, so I might watch that either tonight or tomorrow. Shit. But yeah, I'm actually about to end off the stream right about now and stuff like that. I'm gonna call my mom before she goes to sleep. Thank y'all so much for watching this review. Like I said before, I want y'all to check out Delta Funkee Homosapiens. I wish my brother George was here. Very, very underrated West Coast classic right there. Y'all can follow me on Instagram at MCReg. Follow me on Twitter at RealReg1. Subscribe and like this video. And this is your boy Reg here. Hope you